All right, let's jump in. Let's get started and get rolling when Keith gets into it in a little bit. Yana, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. Give us get us an update what you're experiencing as you work with a lot of agents.
All right, awesome, thanks. So we actually been expecting and preaching to our agents that they should prepare for a major shift, right? Interestingly and surprisingly, that's not truly what we are experiencing here in Fort Bend County. And I know you and I did not really have a chance to line up our screens, but if you allow me, I would like to share some statistics as well. I've attended a very interesting meeting on Monday, but Gerald Klassen is his name, and he's the data research scientist at the Real Estate Center at Texas A&M, and he actually shared some very interesting things that he's seeing that they've been studying, especially the first quarter. So if you allow me, what I would like to share is
You should be good. I made you a co-host.
Thank you. Really cool screen that was actually very helpful to educate my agents, as well as our agents can educate their clients whenever their clients are going to ask them, so how is the market, right? What are we seeing as far as COVID-19 and how it has affected the general economy? So what he was actually going over is the crisis overview. So he said that actually the real estate market in the Houston area or Texas itself has been impacted by multiple factors. And one of them was actually the falling corporate profits, right? That was one of the major significant factors, as well as what we are seeing and experiencing is the record corporate debt. Well, then all that was already happening before COVID-19, right? And then COVID hit. So what has happened is we are seeing layoffs that you guys see actually over here in, the little screen that I shared with you. Then the energy sector got actually hurt as well, right? We are seeing a lot of layoffs. There's a lot of uncertainty. And then the corporate credit crisis. Well, so all of these things actually played a major role in what is happening in the Houston's market. What is very interesting, actually, and I'm pretty sure that you're gonna dive into it. Actually, there was a big aha was what we are seeing is that Sugarland and the Woodlands have been affected the least comparing to Harris County. And he actually mentioned, as they were sharing the basically the central counties of the MSA, which is the Metropolitan Statistical Area, has been impacted, right? On the other hand, Fort Bend County and the Woodlands still remain extremely strong. And so that's what our agents and our panelists every single week are experiencing. Oh, we are busy, we are overwhelmed, because a lot of the people that even live in the Harris County are right now moving into the suburbs. So that was just a big aha that I've seen.
Okay. All right. Good overview. Alignment with what we're seeing as well. Keith, you got to go off mute. I think I say that in my sleep a lot. You got to take yourself off mute, or I hear other people saying it. Tell me, I just asked Yana an unfiltered version of what she's experiencing right now working with agents in the market. Well, how would you elaborate on that?
It is an overwhelming buyer activity out there right now. Shortage of inventory is making it difficult for the agents are excited. Okay, I'm busy. I have a lot of activity. But finding homes, available homes is tough, especially 200 or less a day, 3 days on the market, multiple offers. So if you don't have clients with strong financing and an offer that's written tight and right, you're going to lose out. So you're going to be back out there searching for a home. So it's exciting activity with the interest for buyers. And now with the spike in cases of COVID-19, sellers are now, I'm encountering, I don't know, I want to pull back. I'm not sure if I'm going to move forward. So that is also contributing to the tightness of inventory. So it's a mixed bag, but there's a lot of opportunity out there right now for buyer's agents. And all of us need to understand we might need to pivot and shift right now in order to keep our business going. You might have been once focused on listings, but in order to keep income coming in, you kind of got to be quick on your feet, shift, adjust, and ride the wave of buyers right now, just to kind of keep things going until the listing inventory comes back to where you're more comfortable.
Okay. I agree with that as well. I was on a call yesterday with Gary Keller and some of the economists, and here's some things that they shared about the market that I want you guys to be really aware of. Obviously, we've seen a rise of spike of the COVID, certainly in our area as well, right? It's going to impact us again in the market. So we need to be aware. What we're experiencing right now, and we're seeing record numbers. Purchase agreements, mean contracts written, is the highest that it's been in 11 years. Now, that's a built up demand that all of a sudden just came, and that's what we're really experiencing in the market today. Same thing is refi is the highest it's been in 11 years. Yesterday, somebody from Keller Mortgage says they got somebody at 15 years at 2.25.
Whoa.
Yesterday. Now I'm going at 2.5 and I'm wondering, man, could I have gotten a better rate? So service announcement number one is I hope you're calling your database with a service announcement. Have they thought about refinancing? There's still people out there that have not taken advantage of the situation. So that was a piece that they've talked to. Wow. Here's another one economist says is we should be looking at, we could experience a May, right? We know what May looked like in our real estate world, May, April. He says that could show back up again in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So as we have a rise in cases, maybe we go back to school, people going back to life as normal, we could experiencing another shutdown. Now, right or wrong, or wherever you want to be on this, that's not my concern. My is, are you prepared for it? Do you need to go virtual? And do you really need to help people to get through it? There's an also is, we feel like there's going to be a rise in listings. Now, this is experts saying that because Yana just showed you the screen, the layoffs, the oil and gas, the forbearance that people have put down the road, those listings are going to come on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why we got to get to our sellers today. If somebody was in forbearance, maybe they need to, and they have equity in their home, probably a good time to get that house on the market. So are we the economist of choice, right? Are we sharing this with our clients and the language that we need to be successful? Because this surge is going to either level out or we're going to dip back in it because we're going to have a closeout. Those are things that are coming. And yet we're going to have some strong numbers. I had some screens here, and so I'm working on getting it to show. I don't know why I'm having so much issue. Maybe I should have opened it. I'm having a technology. You think you'd figure everything out with Zoom? And yet I'm piecing this together a little bit. All right, here's a few things I want you guys to look at. The under contract, what we've seen in Fort Bend County, what we've seen in Richmond, right? What we've seen in Sugar Land and what we've seen in Missouri City have huge increases. They have tripled. The under contract, means home for purchase, have tripled since the beginning of April. And I'll make these graphs available when I figure it out too, but they've tripled. So the activity right now is really strong. They're out there, and as you're experiencing as well. Here's another thing we're doing. If the home is not priced right in the right condition, it's not going to sell. Goes back to the tale of two markets that we keep talking about. We could sound like a broken record, and yet I really want to harp that in as well, that we are using everything in tool and we're being the economist of choice. So let's tie in a little bit. Nimesh, I'm putting you in the spot right here a little bit because I want people to understand the importance of technology. Okay, announcement number one, opportunities in command are now a must because on July 1, we're going, commissions will be paid through command through that piece, meaning green sheets are going away. So Nimesh, articulate that a little bit better on the technology, what agents need to know about that.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So come July 1st, as Chad just said, we're going to be shifting completely from green sheet over to the commissions tab in command. Okay. For those of you that are unaware, it's actually been active since February. Okay. And it's a way quicker, more streamlined way to actually request your commissions request, okay? So what you would need to do, okay, just as a quick run through, you enter, as we should be doing, enter all your contacts or your clients in your database in Command and create a quick opportunity for them. For those of you that still haven't dabbled in that yet, it's essentially like making a loop in dot loop. Okay, you're making a specific transaction or a representation of your transaction. Okay, once you're in there, there is simply a commissions tab. Okay, once you open that opportunity, there's a commissions tab, and essentially the difference between what the commissions tab is now and your green sheet is that originally in green sheet you actually had to fill in every single information for your transaction for every transaction. Well, in Command Commissions tab, it's actually going to be pre-filled for you utilizing the information that you've provided Command about your transaction. And so you simply just need to review it and submit.
Okay. Here's some helpful tips for you to learn all that for the ones who stopped listening when his second sentence. Not that we have any of those yet. You go to the kwsw25.com. We got some easy videos. We still have some classes that are coming up as well. But if you haven't embraced Command yet, opportunities is where you're going to start. And that's going to help you with contacts, and then we're going to get into smart planning. But I want you guys to think of opportunities as the super highway of Command. It's going to help you with follow-up. It's going to help you with projected income. Especially as we work through this a little bit, I want you guys to be really aware of that. All right, I finally, I think I figured out my screen. That took me a little bit. Bear with me. So let me share with you, if you guys can see my screen. I want to share you the activity that I was talking about. So if you notice, right, on this sheet, if everybody can see that, this is Fort Bend. This is under contract. And here's an activity. Look back in kind of the end of May, what you saw, and now look at where we are in June and that built up demand. This is an easy way to show this is the activity that we're seeing. Now, just because you go 481 to 448, we're also seeing some things that are selling. But just look at the rise in the activities that's occurring. That's why you get to your seller and go, look, if you need to sell, forbearance, you lost a job, you're going to have a financial impact, we highly encourage you to do that now. So it's not really a technique to put people into panic, and yet it's an easy way to really help people along the way. Make sense? Okay.
Can I add something?
Yes, go ahead.
So, interesting fact that also I learned on Monday was that what we are seeing in all over the Houston area is actually that the homes that are priced between the 200 to 300,000 range, we are actually seeing a significant share increase. So last year in 2019, it was approximately 32.2% of the market share. Well, this year we are already at 37%. So what that actually tells us is that the homes that are between the 200 to 300, you know, are selling more now than ever, even comparing to last year.
Okay, here's Sugarland for you. Look at the under contract. Look where we dip in March and May, and then look where we showed up in June. Same report, same trend. This is the language of real estate I want. I'll make these forms all available on the KWSW25, but look at the activity that's occurring. I know you're hearing it. It's another thing to be able to articulate that as well. Let me go here and I'm going to show you the activity that we're seeing. This is Richmond, activity in Richmond. The end of March, we were at 46 homes under contract. We got as high as 131 in June. Once again, I'll make these available. Okay, bear with me a little bit. I got one more I got a Missouri City to share with you. And then here's Missouri City. Kind of interesting looking at Missouri City. Not quite as big as Rise and kind of a little bit more sporadic. on the other, and it's dipped a little bit, you know, not a lot, but just a little bit. I think that has a lot to do. I do believe in Sienna and locations, Missouri City, there's more inventory out there than other locations.
Yes.
Would you agree with that, Keith?
Yes, sir. Sienna is a lot of inventory.
Okay. And then the last thing I want to share with you is this, because this puts it all in perspective that I want you to see. And this one was the one I needed to look at. So on this sheet, you'll see three different things. You see for sale, you see under contract, and you see sold. This is where we're feeling we don't have as much. Our inventory is growing, but nothing if you look back to May and July of last year. This is Fort Bend County only.
Mm-hmm.
So we're down 13% in inventory or for sale, yet under contract is up 28%. If you look at that over the 2 years, and look at the big spike. That's why it feels like there's not enough inventory. And the sold is down currently, but that's going to really sky up in the next 60 days. Just easy way to explain to your buyers and sellers, your clients, of the activities that's occurring right now. All right, when you see that, Yana and Keith, give me what pops out at you.
Ladies first.
Well, I would say, you know, that what we are seeing in the Missouri City, also, I believe that one of the factors is most likely the sales price, right? We know that, you know, in Sienna, the price point is slightly different comparing to Sugar Land or Richmond, for example, right? Just because of the significant market share of the homes that are 300,000 and above. So, you know, that's again, that kind of proves what we are seeing as far as the statistics, that it also depends on the sales price.
Yeah, right on the money. I do believe, like you said, Chad, as we get into this deeper and we figure out what the job market's going to do, the inventory will pick up again. And for example, we had a buyer who did forbearance. You know, we're getting to the closing date. Touch base with her again. Forbearance ran out and she hadn't made a payment. So fortunately, we're closing in the next week. But there are so many clients out there that took advantage of that and probably never picked it up at the end. So that message going out to your database about where are you at, and you know, we can give you some help right now, do not wait, is so on point. You'd be surprised how much more business you could pick up just with that one message to your client, to your database.
Yeah, and forbearance, it's not going to ding your credit, but it does pull up when you look at it as well. But the moment that you can get that handled, meaning if you sell a home that was under forbearance as well, it goes away, obviously.
Right.
But I think there's some education that needs to be done in that process of forbearance as well.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, you got this information and you're in real estate. Let's get very strategic what you would do with it that you could take and somebody could take a step today to have success. Who wants to go? I didn't set you up for this question, but I know you guys are sharp. I'm like, break this down and tell me step by step. You have this information. We just shared it. What would you do?
Okay, I will go ahead and start.
Okay.
Well, I believe it is very important that, you know, right now we know that there's an opportunity, right? And then also what plays in our favor is the whole iBuyer programs, right? So we know that they just recently announced that they're going to be coming back. However, they're not going to be significant threat anymore, just because we know that they are very sensitive to the days on the market, right? And with everything that has happened, they're not going to be as active and proactive as they used to be, which again, that plays in our favor as far as our opportunity to actually go ahead, have a solid conversation, you know, show the market statistics, and then of course, secure the listing. I believe it is extremely important now more than ever that we understand the market and we educate the sellers and we explain to them what is happening, what they are going to experience whenever we put their house on the market. I believe we still need to have a conversation about COVID-19. We as a Keller Williams, I believe, are educating our clients significantly better and more efficiently comparing to other brokerages that they don't even have this conversation, as well as the safety, safety standards we have in place. So I definitely think that all of these factors are all playing in our favor and how we can actually right now take our market share.
Okay, Keith?
For me, I'm going to take, I guess, a more direct approach, and I'm always thinking about who can list with me tomorrow. That's where my mind goes. So I would take one of these graphics, make it into a smart plan, e-postcard with a headline saying, if you file forbearance, don't wait. We need to talk, need to have a conversation. Blast it out to my database, give me a call, just to draw them in and have them reach out to me, you know, with something that's going to catch their eye. So something, a catchy headline, inventory's tight. If you're thinking about selling right now, with that graph you just showed about, or buyer activity is up right now. If you're thinking of selling, here it is, give me a call. So just take one of those simple graphics, do a smart plan with it, email, text, and I'm looking to have phones ring off, my phone start ringing, and I'm setting appointments. So that's just where I'm going with it.
Very good. Right? Economist of choice is what I'm hearing. Taking these graphs, just let the data speak for itself. I'm here to have a conversation for you. Two things financially. If you're in forbearance, we need to have a conversation today.
Right.
And if you haven't thought of refinancing, you need to have that conversation today.
Right.
I mean, yesterday somebody got quoted 15 years, 2.25. 2.25. That just blows me away. That's the kind of activity that we're seeing right now. So if you do anything, just be a service announcement and make sure that we're asking people those questions as well. And I think the language of real estate and being able to articulate, here's what we know from our economists, and they're telling us is things are going to either level out or we're going to experiencing another May, and then we're going to have another built up demand, and then it's going to explode again.
Mm-hmm.
Is gonna be an interesting ride as we move forward, and we got to just be in relationship with people and having very authentic conversations, because we haven't even got to the next part of fall. Is we have this thing that's called an election is coming in November, and I don't care what side of the seat you sit on, it's gonna be wild with social media and everything that's going on with racial tensions, with COVID tensions, with the uncertainty kind of our country that's going on. These things are all going to do it, and we need to be almost a voice of logic and help people navigate through this space, and especially when it comes to real estate. Yeah. And don't forget, we said this, I don't know how many times, we'll say it again, a care call is still the most powerful thing that you can do. When you call and just check in to people. If you just say, how are you doing? How's your family? How's your job? You guys doing anything fun this summer? When this all gets lifted and we don't have to worry about it, where's one place you need to go? That was the Ford script, by the way, if you didn't hear it. Those conversations are powerful, and they're going to turn around and ask you about real estate. It just naturally comes up. Here's what we're seeing in the market center. Top teams are doing well across the country. They're getting after it. Right? We're seeing some rising stars that are coming up. And then there's some of us who just on this call, there's going to be, you threw your hands up and saying, I'm going to wait until this is over. And I don't know when this ends.
Right.
Have no idea. Right? We did have somebody that tested positive in our office. We had some procedures that we walked through. That shouldn't have been really a surprise. What I would tell people is when you just come across people, let's just all assume that they have the virus and just social distance, wash your hands and stay away. That's an encouragement that I have. And yet we're going to be transparent and let people know as much as we can. Okay. Any other thoughts when it comes to the market and taking action right now? Let's ask Nimesh, all this that we give, how would you tie this into using command?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me about the market. You tied it into command. Okay,
yeah.
No worries.
You can share what you're seeing in the market.
Yeah, well, okay, so I'll take a couple of seconds because just in case you came to me, I took some notes. And what I'm actually seeing in the real, out there in practice right now, it ties in exactly what Yana and Keith are talking about. That's why I kind of had that ready. I've recently started, really concentrating and farming in the Siena market, And it's exactly what I'm seeing. Keith referred to inventory being out there, but what's funny is that I'm seeing a lot of people just miss the boat, and people that are looking for houses there that they're just not finding what they want. And so the houses out there that are priced well, they're in that 200 to 300 range that Jana's talking about. I mean, I have a couple out there right now, and they're just people being upset that, hey, they missed out on that, on a listing because they were going to offer, and over and over again we're seeing multi-offer situations. And I'm seeing a lot of buyers that aren't prepared for that. They're kind of looking, they claim they're actively, seriously looking, but they still don't have their finances in a row. You got to get that going. And the advice you want to give your buyers is this is not the time to come in, way below market value to try to get a steal, because that is just not happening. I'm having agents actually ask me, once I'm under contract, hey, do you mind sharing, where you were at in your deal, roughly, obviously without giving any kind of pertinent detailed information. That way they can advise their buyer on what to expect. And I'm telling them, look, you need to advise them that don't be far off the asking price, as long as the home is priced right, of course, because otherwise they're going to be missing out on multiple houses. And that's exactly what we're seeing out on the market right now. So yeah, I'm getting either multi-offer situations or where they're requesting, hey, can we get a backup in there just in case it falls through? Hey, you're more than welcome to have one, but the buyers are pretty solid because they're coming prepared, and it's not going to fall through.
Yeah. That's why the conversation comes with investors, right? I would tell an investor, I have our neighbor that he goes, I got money waiting. I said, hold on to it. Hold on to it right now. You're going to be able to use it. Obviously, you can find a deal in any market, but I just don't think it's tonight now like what you're talking about.
I agree. And that's where, when you were asking about what would you do with the information that you just gave us, I've tried to already, or not try, I apologize. I've attempted to use it already, but to even enhance on that, I mean, those statistics that you're giving is awesome to educate both on the buyer side and the seller side. Hey, if you're even thinking about being on the market, you want to be on the market now while the inventory is low and the buyers are out there trying to take care, advantage of the interest rate. And it's even though it's maybe a seller's market right now in the sense, it's still a great time to be a buyer, because for what you may not be getting discounted, you're definitely taking advantage of in more buying power with the interest rate. So it's a great time to buy. If you're even considering buying up, it's better to do it now than possibly wait till because like you've always said, we will inevitably hit a wall due to what's going on, and to take it especially for sellers to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chad, our agents have a great opportunity right now. So what I'm seeing is, even with my newer agents, they would go ahead and they would put a house on a market in Sugar Land, right? And it can be even in a $400,000 to $500,000 range. If it's priced right, in a good condition, it just flies off the market with multiple offers and backup offers, right? I'm having those conversations all day, every day with my agents. And so the listing agents need to go ahead and take advantage of the situation. And our office is providing them with amazing tools, such as the Keller Realty resource that everybody has access to. Yeah. Go ahead, circle prospect, educate those owners that are possibly not considering right now putting their house on the market because they don't know how hot the market is, right? And if you're not thinking about moving anytime soon, you're not watching the trends unless you're in real estate, right? However, if I see an opportunity, well, maybe we can go ahead and downsize. Again, that's a huge opportunity for those listing agents that recently sold, property within 24 hours above asking price. I still believe that listings, leads and leverage. I still believe that listings is what we need to focus on.
And I'd like to piggyback off of that. Even if you have a house that went sold fast, still do the open house. Still go have the open house, collect those names, and prospect those same people. So don't, just because it goes on the leverage, it's all about leverage. Just because something's sold fast don't mean, I can't use it anymore. Do the open house. Oh, we just took an offer, but I can help you find something else. Use those properties as a leverage to get clients, a list of buyers, and then the cold realty data, use the email, set up a smart plan, upload it in a command, make a graph from the same graphs Chad saw, push it out there. So use it as a leverage to get the leads. We have the tools. We need to make you aware of the tools, but we have the tools to help you drive your business. Command, Cole Realty resource, email, cell phone numbers, it's right there.
If I can chime in real quick, I 100% agree with both of what they just said, both of them. Keith, what he just recommended, I did just last week. I had a Sienna listing go under contract in 6 days. It was actually going to go under contract on the first day it went on the market. They found a new house that came on the market, so they withdrew their offer. 3 or 4 days later, I got another offer right at close to the asking price. We took it, and I already had an open house scheduled, so I still had the open house. Had buyers come and tell me, hey, unfortunately, this one went under contract just yesterday. You know, I've got one block away if you want to see that one. And that's how I kind of spun that one.
Exactly.
And Jana's 100% correct on the luxury market. Definitely seeing a huge pickup in activity on the luxury market still compared to the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. All right. I want to share another resource with you guys. You can see this. It's called kellerenc.com. And if you don't use this site, I think you're missing out. So if you go to resources and you go to shift, each one of these has some great figures and graphs that you can look at, right? That tells you checklists and things. It's a reason, but really what I want to get to is sharing this part of it, right? Here's what we know about pricing condition, right? And the way that we can be into the market, no man's land. But here's the graph that I want to show you, right? Here's what a buyer's market looks like. We're not in this. The one that we want to look at, right, is what we call the seller's market. The market right now on pricing condition matters, but it's the tale of two markets. We can either be in it or not, and we still have a number of homes that we have in our office that are out of the market. And we got to tell our buyers, our sellers, where it needs to be. And these graphs sometimes are an easy way for us to get to. So if you go there, kellerenc.com, go to resources and shift, there's some of those that I would put in a listing presentation or educate my buyers and sellers on right away. Easy illustration. Some people need to see it on a graph. So another great resources. Yana just posted the Cole Realty resource. We have the Keller Inc. We have the things that we'll put on KWSW 25. It'll be up there later today. So you got all sorts of resources at your disposal to continue to share this message. Okay. Yana and Keith, anything else that you had on your radar that you wanted to talk about?
I just lead generate. COVID is not going away. It's the new norm. We have to adjust. So lead generate and truly take advantage of, you being ahead comparing to other brokerages, even if you are a newer agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working with a small group. We're working on the Profit Camp, which helps us develop our own balance sheets, profit and loss statements. And it's amazing the new vision or clarity you have of your business after you go through the economic model and the lead generation model that's really honed in such that you can develop your own profit and loss and balance sheet for your particular business. And I'll be starting a new class, but right now I'll be making that public for everyone. Take advantage of it because it shines a whole new light on everything you've learned in BOLD, everything you read in the MREA, and brings it home directly to your house for your business and gives you new clarity and will make you more effective in what you do as far as driving your business.
Okay, very good. So we got a profit camp, knowing our finances. That's been big. Okay, Yana, you said lead generate. People see that in a big old term and they can't get their hands around.
Well, what I want to say is go back to your GPS, right? Your 135. I mean, all of the new agents are actually provided with a template. You can find it on Connect or just send me an email. Every single one of you should have a 135 in place. We have one for the Market Center. I have one for the Productivity Coaching Program, right? And go back and visit it. And right now, you might have to change some of the strategies that you originally put in there back in January. We have done it as a leadership team as well. And that is okay, right? However, it will give you a clarity to visit it on a weekly, monthly basis to truly make sure that, you hit your goal, because there's still an opportunity, even with the slowdown that we have seen during the lockdown, to still hit your number. I mean, I see it with my agents.
Yeah. Well, that went back to one thing. If you're a business owner, every business owner should have a business written plan. We call that the 135 or GPS. It's the same term, right? One goal, 3 priorities, 5 strategies. And it's amazing when we write down our goals and our priorities and strategies on a piece of paper. And we really get honed in. And it's 1 page. And if there's anything that we can do to help facilitate that, another great resource is go to theonething.com. And that is packed full of a bunch of resources as well that can help facilitate that on writing goals. Awesome. Okay. All right, let's any final, and Namesh, anything else that you needed to cover in technology?
Yeah, just a couple of other pointers. Featured listings had a bit of a speed bump, even though it had come out. They fixed all the kinks there, and we're good to go as far as the featured listings, whether it shows up on your app, branded app, or your agent site. Okay, and when you're making your agent site, we were seeing where a lot of you might have noticed where if you created a new page for your agent site, it wasn't showing up immediately for you to attach it to your site. That has been taken care of. Facebook lead ads that we've been running for the last couple of months here, and you should continue to run as a form of a lead generation that Jan is talking about. That there were some mix up between Facebook and Command where all of the leads were not coming over to Command. That has been fixed also. And then, of course, last but not least, we are transitioning 100% with commissions, okay, through Command and with the commissions tab. So, you know, for training on that, there is a video on kwsw25.com that shows you the entire process, pretty quick and simple. And also, I will be having a class again tomorrow at 9:30. It will be in the training room and also on Zoom at the same time. Okay, so for those of you that really need to pick that up before that July 1st or right, you know, around that time, the July 1st cutoff, tomorrow at 9:30.
Okay, let's give one announcement. If you watch the Fort Bend, speaking of classes in person, if you notice the Fort Bend judge is masks are now required in the office, right? We don't get to just say, I hope you do it. We're going to ask you, and this is getting into, they're going to hand out fines or what they're going to do. So if you are in the office and you're coming into our building, we're going to ask you to put on a mask. Not ask you, we're going to require you. And then when you're walking around, I know some of you are not too sure about that, but that's just the world that we live in right now, and that's what we're going to do. So if you do come to the class, we're going to limit that, right? So there's just one person at each table. We're going to ask you to wear a mask there. If you're saying, I don't want to sit in that environment, we're going to stream it as well so you can watch it per Zoom. Here's an interesting thing that I learned when people are attending a class or a meeting. They sometimes think they can multitask and do other things. Like I've seen people making their lunch. I've seen them vacuuming and cleaning their home. They're doing all sorts of things. If you're going to do it, just how you participate is how you participate everywhere. So just be all in. And another thing is show yourself on the video. Interact. It is super hard as a presenter and instructor if you don't give them any feedback and you got your video and you're not paying attention. It's hard. So reciprocate it back and forth. Give some energy. Be locked in. Ask questions. This is not going away anytime soon, right? We watch a church service every Sunday morning, and I look at my teenagers, and I'm like getting them to pay attention. They're laid out on the couch, and I'm like, they're not hearing anything. So be an active participant in all this stuff that we have coming in. If you're coming to the office, wear your mask, social distance. It's now a requirement. Okay. All right, I'm about ready to switch it to AMCAP and Celebrity. Yana, Keith, Namesh, anything that I missed?
Not that I could think of.
Okay, great. Dale, you ready?
I'm ready. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, tell us what's going on.
Perfect. So some of the new changes that's required where we're having some issues is that because of our current environment with COVID, people that are self-employed are now being asked to provide bank statements, showing deposits consistently going into their bank account for their business, in addition to profit and loss statements starting from the first of the year to the current date today. The problem that what they're looking for is just to see, has there been any big interruptions in your business? It's still risk-based. We're seeing that with credit scores dropping. We're seeing late payments being reported on credit reports. We're obviously seeing that some lenders are putting loans into forbearance on mortgages. There's forbearance, as you know, on student loans, as well as credit cards. Those are not being reported, where the lenders just want to get paid back. And so it's adding kind of an extra layer for people that are self-employed to be able to verify that their businesses are still alive and well. And with that being said, the process of getting loans closed, we're needing for you all to be patient, to potentially put that these are 40 to 45 day closes.
Okay. Still a good time to refinance?
It's phenomenal time to refinance. I just got off the phone with a guy who had said to me that, you know, he's waiting for rates to come down. And I said, well, we're at historical lows. I said, if you think that they're going to go down, you should be in my business and make millions and millions of dollars if you have some crystal ball. So again, rates are fantastic. It's time. You should go ahead and realize whatever those savings are going to be in your reduction of your rate or the loan program. It's not always about rate either. It could mean that you're paying off your loan in half the time. So that's a big benefit for them. But you know, if rates come down and we get you a lower rate, that's fantastic. The opposite side though is that they can always go up. And so then I look like the bad guy, or any lender out there looks bad if your loan was not locked because we were chasing or had some special rate in mind that we thought was the best rate available.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Service announcement. Call your people. Number one, we're checking on forbearance, and we're also, if they're under that, and giving them some piece of advice too. And have you thought about refinancing? What would you say, Dale? Give us some clarification on what do you see on the forbearance and what are you noticing?
Well, in regards to forbearance, so underwriters are getting really strict on this. And it's not underwriters, it's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, and VA. It's every loan that's out there done today. Do you have difficulty paying your mortgage or your auto or your student loans? That's the deal. What's happened to you as a consumer? And again, can you qualify to pay us back? If you're having issues with your current bills now in the current environment, then maybe we, the lender, is going to have a hard time collecting our payments from you. Secondly, you know, things that are in forbearance, they're being requested that they get out of forbearance prior to being able to move forward with this. The credit reports are not showing these minimum payments that are due. Therefore, we can't accurately calculate someone's percentage of debt in relation to their income. Their numbers are going to be off. And so we're requiring that these creditors supply us something that's called a credit supplement. This may take 2, 3, 4 days for this to happen and be reported correctly to the credit report. They have to get out of forbearance. We have to count the full payment that's required. And so if some people think that they're going to qualify because they've got no payment due, that's not the truth. It's not going to happen that way.
Yeah. Okay. Good information. All right. Celebrity title.
Hi guys, I'm actually in your training room. I'm excited.
Yes.
So I did bring my mask. I did wear it the entire time. I have this beautiful colorful one. So I hope you guys all have one. If you don't, let me know and I'll get you one. I want to talk about a couple of things in regards to something. I'm going to piggyback on Dale for something real quick, which is VA loans. I know you guys have heard me say over and over that we have REN, remote online notarization, and RON, backwards, I'm sorry, remote ink notarization. But I just want to put it out there because we just recently had an issue. Once again, it is up to the lender to agree that those are options that your persons can use to close their business. So just be very aware that if you have VA loans, that they are not accepting that as a form of being able to close their business. RONs are not being accepted. So I want to make sure that if you have any clients that are on the books and you think, oh, this is easy peasy, we're going to just remote close you, that you go ahead and reach out to them and make sure that that's something that's going to happen, because it's not for them. So once again, that's all based on what the lenders are agreeing to. Celebrity Title and any other title company does not have control over that. Your lenders have to agree to that. So I just want you to all be aware, because I know I've been pushing that. I know I've been stating that that's an option for you, but there are parameters within those options that you have to stay within. The other thing I want to talk about is, let's just talk about wiring funds and what happens with wiring funds. If you're using Celebrity Title or any other title company, we are not going to change the terms of where those funds are to be wired. If you have clients that are going to reach out to you and say, hey, I just got some new wiring instructions from the title company, which has recently been happening, that's not right. So you basically, that should be a red flag to you as their realtor to make the phone call, check with your title rep, make sure that those changes have been made. Unfortunately, with all these things going online, it's really increased the amount of cybercrime, and that is really happening out there. So just be very aware that the wiring of funds is something that is normally set. Our instructions do not change, and it should come from your escrow officer. So those are the two things I really want to put out there this week, because in our offices, we've seen a couple of issues that we've luckily caught, but there are things that if we hadn't would have been real issues for people. So just constantly be aware of that. Let me think, what else? That was it. I really wanted to touch on the VA thing. That was something that was really important. I think that a couple of your agents probably are really good at VA loans, and they probably secure a lot of VA loans. So that's something that I think is very important to know. Outside of that, Celebrity Title is always here for you, and no one's taking advantage of my book club, Chad. I've offered. It's like,
I guess you got to
I'm even here in
more
the space.
specific.
I'm
You
not
have to
specific.
choose the book and tell them
Okay.
what to read.
Next week, I'm going to have the book. I'm going to have the book, and I'm going to have a stack of them here for y'all. So then we could just, like, I can pass them out like candy. So I will have the book if you guys are interested. It's just a good time to get together and have a conversation. And we'll be all wearing our masks. You know, I'll have that here. So, and if anybody needs one, I'll bring some extras.
You know, Gary Keller challenges people to read a business book, right? Not a leadership book. What business book you're reading? And two books that I highly recommend that I think was good. One is called The Road Less Stupid. It's by Keith Cunningham. Great business book. And another one that I've read, it just really resonated, was called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. Those are business books, right? They're not an easy read like Maxwell. I do love John Maxwell because it's easy for me to read and understand.
Yes.
The business books, but what business books are you reading?
Recently, I told you about The Raving Fan. I love that book. It's a great book about customer service and elevating your service levels. And I think that's something that Keller Williams is very strong with, and all the agents here are probably very strong with that. So that's something I'd like to have.
All right, Reliant Energy.
Good morning, everybody. Let me send the message. Okay, my name is Yilin. I'm a mover concierge for Reliant. So summer is coming because we offer the agent good ways to save money for you. Okay, I think because during the summertime you use more energy, so it saves you more. Okay, so I can help your customer and clients to set up their electricity. Reliant also offer home security, and I can also give your customer phone number to connect water, gas, and utility, okay, like internet. But make sure I only give them the number. I don't do this because like some customers think that I do all that in one package, okay. I only give them the number to call, okay. So all those are no cost for you, okay. This month we still have running the contest. The first place is $100. Second place is $50. Right now I have 3 agents. I mean, I close 2 sales for each of them, so they're tied. So we still have 1 more week to go, and I have 10 agents also send me referral that I close this month. Okay, so
awesome, great. Who's going to win the contest?
Yeah, keep sending you a referral.
I know. I know you do a good job and follow up with them as well. All right, good work. All right, don't leave yet. I do have a contest. We have 3 prizes to give away. I know we haven't done this via Zoom, courtesy of Lawrence with Perry Home. Okay, so Lawrence gave us 3 gifts. So here's your question and answer. in the chat box, the first person to write the 4 models of the MREA book, 4 models of the MREA book, put them in the chat, is our first winner. Don't y'all go at once. What are the 4 models of the MREA book? Anybody got some Jeopardy music? Keith can probably sing it for us. I'm waiting. We might be here till 1 o'clock. We had almost 80 people on here, so hopefully of the 80 people. All right, Tara Flores got it. Tara Flores is our first winner. I don't know what you're winning, but you're winning a prize from Lawrence.
Chad, she missed one.
Oh, she did?
She just corrected herself, so.
I was about to
No,
say,
it's
the
still
budget was on there
incorrect.
Yeah,
twice.
still.
Yeah, come
Try
on.
again, Tara. You need to work on your O word.
You fixed it, I think.
You gotta no. Come on, Tara. Tell us the O word.
Oh,
Here's one.
here's one. Yeah, it's legitimate, I think.
Okay, the 4 models
Joanne,
are
got it.
the economic model, the lead gen model, the budget model, and the organization model. Who's our winner?
Joanne, then
No, before.
I
who
think
do we have?
Bhairavi was number 1.
Who is?
Bhairavi Desai.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Arvita,
Joanne
stop by the office,
and Carla.
and you're the winner of 1 prize. All right. Now we need another question. Yeah, you got to know the 4 models. Economic models, you got to know your numbers. Lead gen model, you got to know the sources of your business. Budget model, you got to know your P&L. You got to know your balance sheet. Oh, by the way, if you want a loan, Dale just says you have to have one. Oh, imagine that. And then the last is organization. Do you know your KPA and do you have an organizational model chart to follow? Okay, great. Yana, another question.
Sorry, I'm actually just reading that somebody wanted the names of books from you. Another question. Okay, let me think real quick. Name 3 books that are written by Gary Keller.
All right, 3 books by Gary Keller. First one's the winner.
The suspense is killing me.
No, staff cannot win. All right, there we go. Shift MREI. Who's the first one?
Looks like Toyin is the
Toyin is the first winner. Good job. Go see Barbara for your next prize. All right, Keith, last question.
Man.
Oh, I got one.
Go
Talking
for it,
about a
Chad.
P&L and a budget. We talk about the 30, 30, 40. It's in the MREA budget model. Oh, it's also in the economic model. What does the 30, 30, 40 stand for?
Oh, that's a good one.
We're going to see if they need to attend your profit class. 30, 30, 40. Come on. Zoe not on today? Zoe usually nails these. She must be
Sharon Parker would know. Come on.
Yeah, Sharon Parker, 30, 30, 40. She got the books. Come on. Last prize. I think they need to go to your class, Keith.
Yeah, I see some people. Somebody got into
that's
that.
not right. Essentials, lifestyle, and savings. So we're talking about the 30, 30, 40 that goes into the MREA book. Appreciate the chance. Oh, we saw cost of sales, profit, and tax. No, not there.
Nope.
Cost of sale, operating expenses, profit before tax. No.
Close, no cigar.
Sales expenses. No. 30% of cost of sale. We're still not there. So he just keeps, Irma says, listings lead leverage. That's always a good one. We still don't have it.
Yeah, I expect to see a lot of people in the next profit camp.
Yes. We'll have that as a version. I guess we need an easier question. Keith, easier question. We're moving on. Okay, let me, hold on. 30 cost of sales expense. All right, Tara.
Tara got
I'll
it.
give it to you. Yes, that's the answer. She had to go look it up, but good job. 30-30, an expense, right, is 30%. Your cost of sale split with
30%.
Keller Williams, a referral and or a split with a buyer's agent, and you should run your business at 40% net or greater. So good job, Tara. Go see Barbara. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Any other final thoughts that I missed?
Chad, just one more thing. Can you repeat
Yes.
those books again that you were
Yeah.
reading? Jack Avon wanted to know.
Okay, one book is called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. 4 Disciplines of Execution. And then the last one is The Road Less Stupid. Keith Cunningham is the author. And I don't know if I read him. I think I listened to him, to be totally honest.
Chad, I also really enjoyed Profit First. It is a difficult
Yeah.
book, but it's a good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, good
Super
business book.
easy read. Go for No is just really good refresher, super easy read.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
Never Split the Difference by Voss. Last name is Voss. It is he's a hostage negotiator, and it's Never Split the Difference. Negotiate like your life depends on it.
Awesome.
Excellent book. It's so good. I'm going to outline the book. I read it. Now I'm going to go back and take personal notes on each chapter. That's how good it was to me. So that
Okay.
rarely happens. When I read a book, when I put it down, it's done. I'm going back to take notes.
Okay. That's all I got today. Oh yeah, by the way, if you come to the office, you must what?
Wear your mask.
Wear a mask, right? Social distance. Let's keep everybody safe. That's important. Somebody asked, can you post the name of the books that mentioned? Yeah, we did some of them. You can come and see Barbara. She'll tell you all as well. We will put all the information on kwsw25.com. Let that be your resource, not just for resources for that, and yet commissions, right? If you want to get paid, green sheets go away in July, and it's totally going on commissions and opportunity. There's classes and videos to watch. Not too hard to figure it out. Okay, that's all I got. Hey, last thought. Be nice to people, right? There is enough meanness in this world to go wrong. So be nice, check in on people, and add value to somebody. All right, take care, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.